left, right, and center. So much thing open, boy. Way. I hope nobody gets see that. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So Zachary, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Zachary, let we just go through the objectives you should know when it comes to coordinate geometry and add maths. First things first. I mean, you should be able to find ingredients of a line. Don't you know how to do that?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you could find ingredients of a line. If a line is perpendicular, do you know how to find ingredients of that perpendicular line?
Yes, sir.
Right. What's the relationship? If I tell you that the gradient of this line, m1, is a half, what will be the gradient of the perpendicular line?
The negative reciprocal, sir.
So negative what?
-2.
Negative 2. Perfect. Do you remember how to figure out the center of a line, center of a line segment?
Yes, so that's the midpoint formula.
Yes. Oh, do you remember that formula?
So it is in bracket x1 um is then x1 plus x2 over 2, comma y1 plus y2 over 2. Close
Perfect.
bracket.
Okay, do you know how to find the equation for the perpendicular bisector? Do you remember what the perpendicular bisector is?
Now see I remind
Okay, what does perpendicular mean?
like at a right angle. Ish.
Right angle, right? So we're talking about like that, the angle. What does bisector mean? What's it like bisect a line? Bisect a angle. What do I mean?
Cut through it.
Not just cut through it. Bisect means to cut in what?
Two.
Half. That's what it
Well,
means.
yeah. Yeah, so
So perpendicular bisector. Imagine you had this line segment over here. Line segment AB. So you had this line segment. The perpendicular bisector will be the line passing through the center of the line. This is the center or the midpoint. And it would be 90 degrees to the line segment. So that's our example. Here's another example. Consider I had point C and point B. The perpendicular bisector to that would be this line over here. You understand?
yes, sir.
So you need to be able to find the perpendicular bisector. Um, to do that, you could find the gradient of the line segment first. Do you think you'd be able to find the gradient of a line?
Yes, sir.
Right? And if you want to find the gradient of the perpendicular line, what you gotta do?
The negative reciprocal.
Great. So you find the gradient of the line segment, then you find the gradient of the perpendicular line, bam. Then you need to figure out the midpoint because you need to know a point that lies on your line. So once you have the gradient of the perpendicular bisector and you have a point on the line, what you can do next? What can you do next? So we had a gradient, check, and you have a point on the line, check. What next?
So you could put it in the form of the equation of the line.
Or where's the equation of a line? I don't know what that is.
Y equals mx plus c.
Okay, bet. And you'd find for what?
M and c.
Nah. If I just find, so I have the gradient, so I have m, I have a point. If I have a point, what I know then? If I have a point, what values do I
And
know?
x and y, so
Yeah, so you then find for C. Once you find for C, then you could write the final answer. So you'd say y is equal to some value of m by x plus whatever C was. Cool. So that's how you find the equation on the perpendicular bisector. Cool. You should also be able to handle linear simultaneous equations. And this would tell you the points of intersection between two lines. Between two lines. Yeah, you know how to handle simultaneous equations or not?
yes, sir.
Right? All right, Caleb, do you know how to handle simultaneous equations? Yes or no?
Yes,
What are the two known
but
methods?
like
Tell me.
kind of like well, like how to like see it. Remember, so.
All right. Well, the two main methods you could use when solving linear simultaneous equations, you could use substitution or you could use elimination. Now, in hard maths, it's preferred to use substitution. But if it's two linear, if you have a pair of linear equations, you could do elimination or substitution. But Zachary, anytime you have a line and you have something like a circle or a curve, you can't do elimination, eh? You have to do substitution. So what do I
Yes,
mean? Imagine you had an equation like y is equal to 3x plus 5, and then you had like y is equal to x squared plus 3x plus 7. Are both of them linear? Are both of them lines? Thomas,
yes,
Zach,
sir.
both of them looking like lines. That way tell them. Oh.
So the first one,
The first one is a line. What's the second one?
are quadratic.
Exactly. If both of them are not linear, you can't do elimination. So that's why in
Yes,
our maths, we typically stick with substitution. Cool.
yes.
On to the next thing you should know. You should know what the general form of a circle is. By now, we should know that. Somebody tell me, what's the general form of a circle?
X squared plus y squared plus 2fx plus 2gy plus c is equal to 0.
Right, cool. Caleb, tell me the center of the circle, quickly. Center of the circle.
F and G
Nah.
man
Minus?
is minus
Mhm.
F minus G.
Right. Could somebody tell me the formula for R?
So r is the um square root
Mhm.
f squared plus g squared minus c.
Cool. Serena, let's move on to the standard form of a circle. Do you remember what the standard form of a circle looks like?
Yes, sir, it's bracket x plus f squared plus bracket y plus g squared is equal to r squared.
Great. Now let me ask you a question. Wait, sir.
Mm.
Somebody sent me a message. Come on a second. All right. Yeah. So we have the standard form here. Cool. Um, let's just say I have 2 points. I have a point at the center and I have a point at the circumference, right? Center and circumference. What formula could I use to find the length of the radius? Tell me, Serena.
You use the length of line formula, which is the square root of brackets x2 minus x1 squared plus brackets y2 minus y1 squared.
Perfect. Excellent. Question, guys. If I were to expand the standard form, what form would I get?
General form. So
Great. Excellent. If I have a circle here, so I'm just recapping everything you should know, right? If I have a circle here, what would I call that? What would I call this part over here? Blue part. I mean, everything blue, right? But what would I call that line from the center to the circumference?
the radius. So
Radius C.
All right. What would I call this line? What would I call this green line over here? So it
Mm,
lies on top of the radius. What do you call that? It's not the diameter, eh? It's not the diameter. It's not
so
the
the
diameter.
normal.
Yes, yes, perfect. That is called the normal. Excellent job. The normal would have the same gradient as the what? Could somebody tell me? What would the normal have the same gradient as?
To the
Exactly.
radius.
Radius.
Perfect, guys. Doesn't it lie on the radius itself? They're
Yes,
collinear.
sir.
Both of them lying on the same, both of them lying on top of each other, right? So they're collinear. Cool. Happy to see that we understand that. How would I find the equation of the normal? They typically ask that. Tell me, guys, how would I find the equation of the normal? Anybody can tell me. How would I find the equation of the normal? Anybody?
They had to find the gradient of the normal first. Yeah,
Mm,
you did.
okay. Yeah, you find the gradient of the normal. Yeah.
And after that, you had to find for C, and then you put it in the equation of the line.
All right. So let me break up those steps a bit more in detail, right? So how do you
Yes.
find the gradient of the normal? How do you typically find the gradient of the normal? What points do they typically give you?
Here's the center and a
Right?
point touch the circumference.
Yeah. So they could give me a point on the center or a point along the circumference, or you know what? They could even give me a point somewhere outside the circle that still lies on the normal. Understand?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right. But we typically need to use the center point. Typically, and they expect you to know how to find that. The center is given by what again? Just tell me. What is
Minus F minus G.
minus f comma minus 3? Perfect. So you should be able to find that. So to find ingredients of the normal, typically you use the center and another point. But the point is you need to use 2 points on the normal. 2 points on the normal. After you use 2 points on the normal, to find ingredient, what's the next step? Thomas Zachary. So you found the gradient of the normal. Good. What's the next step?
They had to put those things in the form of the equation of the line.
Mm. But if you do that, the only thing you'll have is a gradient. So what do we need? What do we need?
So
We're gonna
you
find for
had to
C.
find C.
So how are we gonna find for C?
So after you substitute, you could kind of transpose the
Okay.
equation.
Yeah, I hear you. But what we substituting? Tell me exactly what we substituting,
The point we use on the line.
right? So this you need to substitute a point that is on the line itself. If it's not on the line, you can't use it. So point on the line. This is that's like exclaimed. I mean, you have to use a point on the line. If I want to find the equation of the normal, could I use this fine? Could I use that point over there? That red point over there?
Now, so
No, that red point had nothing to do with the line. You can't use it. Students make that mistake. Like, imagine you get a question, and somewhere in the question, they get a point and they say line on the tangent. So that point is over here. Some students might use that point to find the equation of the normal, but you can't do that. You can only use the point if it's on the line. What else are you going to substitute?
gradient. So
Yeah, you're going to substitute the gradient you found, and you'll be able to find for C. And then the last thing is just to write a complete answer. Right answer in the form y is equal to mx plus C. Perfect. Now, Shayna. Shayna, you there? Shayna? Well, here, Shayna. All right. Next question, guys. So I have a normal over here. What would I call this? This purple line.
Tangents.
Right, I'll call that the tangent. Great. How would I find the equation of the tangent? Could somebody just debrief me? How could I find the equation of the tangent? Let me know, guys. How am I going to find the equation of the tangent? So let me just give you a scenario, right? Like we just say we know what the center is, and we have a point here. Call our point P. How am I gonna find the equation of the tangent? Somebody tell me, walk me through the steps.
So you will substitute point P since it's on the line of the tangent in the equation of the line.
Okay, but do we even know what the gradient of the tangent is?
Nah, so
Nah, so you have to find the gradient of the tangent. Could somebody tell me how you'd find the gradient of the tangent?
say the gradient of the tangent is the negative reciprocal of
Mm,
the gradient of the normal and so.
Perfect. Caleb, do we have 2 points along the tangent? Like, look at that for yourself. Use your eyes and look at it for yourself. Do we have 2 points on the tangent here? Look at it for yourself. Are there
Yes, sir.
on the tangent, eh? Tell me if you're seeing 2 points on the tangent. How much point is seeing on the tangent?
1, 2.
Perfect. If you have 1 point, can you use the gradient formula?
Nah, sir.
Nah, you can't use the gradient formula because the gradient formula needs 2 points. So you can't directly find the
Yes, sir.
gradient of the tangent. You can't do that. So Caleb, what points do we have? We have point P and we had the
Sir.
center. Both of those points lying on what? What do both of those points lie on? Tell me.
Hold on, sir.
Say that again.
The screen loading right now.
So look at it again. You have this point over here and you have this
The
point.
screen, it's black right now. I can't get anything.
Oh, the screen black right now. Okay.
Yes, sir. Hold on. I'm gonna leave and turn back.
Okay, no problem. In the meantime, though, Serena, and just seeing that we don't have 2 points along the tangent, so we can't directly find the gradient of the tangent. So what you would have to do is you'd have to find the gradient of the normal first, because you have 2 points for that, and then you'd find the negative reciprocal to find the gradient of the tangent. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Bet. Now, guys, if I want to find for C, which one do I substitute into y is equal mx plus c? Would I substitute C or would I substitute P? Let me hear, guys.
Can you repeat the question?
If I want to find the equation of the tangent, right? And I have the gradient of the tangent. The only thing that's missing now is C. How am I going to find for C? Will I
Say
use,
you would
tell me,
use point P, so
why am I going to use point P as opposed to point C?
because point C is not on the line you have to find the equation for. So use point P since it's on the tangent itself.
Exactly. You have to use a point that is on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope you understand that.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, Caleb, let me know if you see the screen.
Yes, I see now.
Right. So, Caleb, we don't have 2 points on the tangent. We only have one. So we can't just find the gradient of the tangent just so. However, we have 2 points on the normal. So you know what we could do,
Yes.
Caleb? We could find the
Yes,
gradient of the normal. That's what we could do.
yes, sir.
And what we could do next?
When you find it, is yeah, find F and G.
No, pretend like we know what this is and we know what this is.
Oh,
Mhm. So using those 2 points, you could find the gradient of the what?
the normal,
And then you would find the gradient of the what?
the tangent,
how are you using the gradient of the normal to find the gradient of the tangent?
The negative reciprocal.
Perfect. So you change the sign and you flip it. Cool. So to find the gradient of the tangent, number one, you're gonna find the gradient of the normal. Number two, you're going to find the negative reciprocal. Number three, you're gonna plug it into y is equal to mx plus c. And in doing this, you find for c. Part four, write a complete answer. Okay, great. Some other things that you should keep in mind. At the x-intercept, what do we know? What do we know about the x-intercept?
Is equal to 0.
Great, this is very valuable information. So if they give you an equation and they ask you to find for the x-intercepts, you're gonna put y equal to 0 and you're gonna solve. At the y-intercept now, what do we know? Yes, we know x is equal to 0. Do not ever forget these two things, please. Very valuable pieces of information. If you're dealing with a circle, right? If you're dealing with a circle, so let me just say we have the y-axis here, and we have the x-axis here. See y, this is the x. So guys, if you have a circle, what is the most amount of times it would cut the x-axis?
Twice.
Are you all seeing that? I'm gonna follow seeing that. The circle cuts in the x-axis how much times?
I see.
Exactly. So when we're talking about a circle and the Cartesian plane, just know that the most amount of times, so most amount of times, so what I'm trying to say is for a circle, it could cut the x-axis a maximum of two times. So maximum of 2 times. If we're talking about the y-intercept, it's the same story. Until you're seeing that, it cuts in the y-axis 2 times.
Yes, sir.
Let me look at an alternative example. Okay. Check this, right? Wait, in this example, how much x-intercepts do you have? Somebody tell me, in this example, how much x-intercepts do you have?
1, 2.
We have 2, sir.
2? I ain't seeing 2, you know. The circle cuts in the x-axis here. Where else is it cutting the x-axis?
Nah. 1, sir. 1.
Oh, well, if all they could show me that, I'll give all $1,000. If all they could show me where else that circle cut on the x-axis, I'll give all $1,000. Right? Um, how much y-intercepts do we have?
So we
Somebody?
got 1 y-intercept.
Right, we have one y-intercept. That's why I said the maximum is 2 times. It don't have no more than 2. Great. What should you guys also know? You should also be able to solve a system of a linear and non-linear, what's saying, boy? So solve a system of a linear and non-linear equation. So like, what do I mean by this? I mean like, imagine you have a line. So imagine you have the equation of a line. And imagine you have the equation of a circle. So you need to know this. Guys, remind me, where's the equation of a line? Quickly, guys, where's the equation of a line?
Y equals mx plus c.
And where's the equation of a circle? You can tell me either one, whichever one I want to use.
X squared plus y squared. Yeah, x squared plus y squared plus 2fx plus 2gy plus c is equal to 0.
Cool. Yeah. I have a question. Would this be the equation of a circle? Yes or no? I'll let think about it and get back to me. Would this be the equation of a circle? And if it is, what would the center be?
So that can be the equation of a circle.
It is. Probably wondering, but sir, this is a madman, how? Probably wondering how it went.
Yes.
What is right? If I told you that F and G were both equal to 0,
Hmm.
and I told you that C was equal to 0, what would this equation turn to? Tell me, Caleb. So, Caleb, if I tell
X squared plus y squared
right,
equals 0.
exactly, because anything by 0 is 0, and that whole thing gone just it gone disappear. This thing gone
Yes.
disappear, and C gone disappear. So really, this is actually a circle. Eh? If you see x squared plus y squared, just known as a circle, don't get tied up now. Please, don't get tied up. And
That's
and if you don't believe me, I know like seeing is believing. Let me show you. And I said F and G was 0. So you know what that would be? That would actually be a circle whose center is the what? Think, guys. Think about it. What center do you think that circle would have? X squared plus y squared is equal to 0. What do you think?
So the center will be 0, 0.
Wait, eh? And let me just put x squared plus y squared is equal to 9. Yeah, let's see now, right? That circle, where's the center? The center
Your
is
turn.
0, 0, right? What's the radius, you think? What do y'all think the radius is? Guys, what do you think the radius is? Take a guess. From it's not hard. What's the length of the radius?
0, 0. Well, 0.
Nah, if the length of the radius is 0, then it would be a dot. It wouldn't be a
Oh,
circle.
yes.
What's the radius? Remind me, what's the radius? What that is about? What's radius?
So that's the square root of f squared plus g squared minus c.
Oh no, I mean it like literally now. Like literally. What's the radius? What's the radius of a circle?
Oh, so that's the half of the circumference.
Okay,
Or
wait.
a point from the middle that is touch the circumference.
So here what? I want you to look at this diagram, look at it with your eyes, and tell me what's the radius.
3.
3. Yeah, it's 3.
Yes.
Now if you're very like Serena, you probably noticed this, right? Look at this carefully. Could somebody just quickly tell me the standard form of a circle? What is the standard form of a circle?
X plus x squared plus y plus g squared equals r squared.
What did I say F and G was?
The center.
Yeah, F and G for this. F and G was 0, right? Look at this carefully, guys. In this form, right? in this form, if f is 0, I'm not sure if I'll see where I'm going with this. What am I going to end up with? Somebody tell me. Like if I have x plus 0 squared, what I gonna be? What's that gonna be?
X squared,
Yeah, that'll just be x squared. What's y plus 0 squared?
y squared,
Question. This is what form? General or standard?
general,
Is actually it's actually standard. Standard form.
um,
Standard form. Isn't this the standard form?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, no, I have a question for you. Does this and this look the same? Do they look similar? Zachary, Sheena, Serena, Caleb, like does this, and this look similar?
Yes.
So like if you're comparing this to this, r squared go be equal to what? Say comparing this,
9 to
yeah, r squared go be equal to 9. And so if you find the square root of 9, we'll get.
3.
Yeah, and if you look at the diagram for yourself, what's the radius?
3.
3 to
Yeah, so everything making sense. Cool. I sure know that. So like when if I see any exam, you wouldn't get scared. You wouldn't get scared. So if you see x squared plus y squared in the exam is any end of the world, that is just that is also the equation of our circle, just with the center of 0, 0. Cool. So you need to be able to solve a system of linear and nonlinear equations like this. So you'll have a line or you might have a circle. Now, quickly, guys, just tell me, if you have a circle and you have a line, what is the most, what is the maximum points of intersections? What is the most amount of intersections I can have? Think about it. If I have a line and
sir.
2.
right? Cool. This is very important information. So the maximum number of intersections is actually 2. What is the least number of intersections? Could somebody tell me?
1 to
Okay, and if it have 1 point of intersection, what would I call that line then? That's how bad it is.
very tangent, sir.
That is good. It is. I'm happy to see that all they could logically figure this out. There are some questions I ask you to prove if a point is a tangent to the circle, and yeah, this way you could do. You could solve it simultaneously. And if you only get one solution, that means it's a tangent. So in this situation, this would be a tangent. Cool. Right. Now I want you to be completely honest with me. Is everybody okay with gradients of a line? Perpendicular gradient, center of a line, which is the midpoint formula, perpendicular bisector, linear simultaneous equations, general form, standard form, equation of normal, equation of tangent. We okay with these things? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. I feel like the only thing you all may not know is how to solve a system of linear and nonlinear equations. How much of you guys can do this? Like solve simultaneously for like a line and a circle. How much of you guys could do that?
I'm not too sure, sir.
All right. Well, I think this is something we have to go through then. Let me just check. Were any of the questions testing you all on that? No, I don't think so. Let's see if I can find a question and test that. Look, this is what I'm talking about. So I have a question, guys. Anytime, anytime you solve two equations simultaneously, what are you really finding for? Could anybody tell me? Anytime you solve a pair of equations simultaneously, what are you finding for graphically? Does anybody know?
You find 5 points, sir?
Not just any point. This is like a little hint. So look at what we just did, right? So I told you guys, you need to be able to solve a system of linear and non-linear equations. You would do this simultaneously, right? So you'd have the equation of a line and you'd have the equation of a circle. And then I went on to talk about what? What did I go on to talk about?
The number of intersections,
Yeah, yeah. Between the what and the what?
line and the circle.
Yes. So anytime you're solving two equations simultaneously, what you are finding for is the points of intersection between the two graphs. That's what you are really finding for. You are finding for the points of intersection, right? All you hear my cousins in the background.
Nah, sir.
Okay, good. Finding for the points of intersection between the two graphs. Now, you're going to be faced with two kinds of questions. Number one, linear and linear. If you have a linear and a linear equation, you know what you could do? Well, you could either use elimination method or substitution. All right. The second type, which is the one we have to face and add maths, would be a linear and a nonlinear. Could you guys just give me an example of some nonlinear functions? Like the names for them? So like a linear equation will be y is equal to mx plus c. What are some examples of nonlinear equations? Do you guys know? Zachary, do you know any nonlinear equations?
I think so, sir.
Now you know. First of all,
Quadratic will be one.
yeah, just to make sure we're on the same page, right? Are we on the same page? When I mention the word linear, do we know what I'm talking about? Like
So you
when I,
have equation of our line.
yeah, and wait, what does our form look like? What does our form look like? What's the
Y
form?
is equal to mx plus c.
Right. Anytime you see y is equal to mx plus c, you know you're dealing with a linear equation. Guys, give us some examples of non-linear now. It has so much examples for non-linear.
What y'all say?
Yeah, you can tell me y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. What's another one we'd be dealing with in this topic?
The
Yeah.
circles too.
Yeah, so you can tell me x squared plus y squared plus 2fx plus 2gy plus c. Yeah. And there are many more. So do we understand what a linear function would look like and then a nonlinear function? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Now, technically, the equation of a circle is not a function, eh? It's actually an example of a one-to-many. a one-to-many graph. People are doing form maths. All you remember what a one-to-many graph looks like? Like if it's a one-to-many function, all you know about that? Serena and Sheena. All you know is one-to-many.
Yes, sir.
No, all you remember the vertical line test by chance? Or no?
Yes, sir.
So watch this, right? I don't know if I'll ever realize this, but if I were to draw a circle here, and I draw the X and Y axis, and I perform the vertical line test, what happens?
The line cuts the graph at 2 points.
Yeah, so I mean, technically speaking, the equation of a circle is not a function, eh? It's not a function. Because our one-to-many relationship is not a function. Just clearing that up. But yeah, this is what you need to be familiar with. So if you're dealing with a linear and a non-linear equation, what is the only method I could use? Somebody tell me, what's the only method I could use? Do you all know?
Substitutions.
Yeah, you could only use substitution. So let's look at an example of linear and nonlinear. And what better way to do this than by doing 2024 paper, right? 5 marks. There we go. All right, who wanna help me with this question? Any volunteers? And the hint here is that you have to use the substitution method. That's where you have to do that. Anybody want to volunteer? I'll leave my hands up, boy. Wait. Ole, come on. What going on here?
I would listen.
I see Serena on mute, but Serena, I saw Serena on mute before Zachary. Um,
Mm.
but Serena, try talking there. Let me see if I can hear. If I could hear, we'll do the question together.
Hi, sir.
Okay, I could kind of hear. All right, so let me go, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you're solving simultaneously using the substitution method, you normally come up with a third equation, yeah? Normally, right?
Yes, sir.
And in the
Yes, sir.
third equation, you would make one of the unknowns the subject of the formula. Now, when you look at this question, let's just write down the equations we have. So we have x squared. We have x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y plus 8 is equal to 0. And could somebody tell me what type of equation that is? As the equation for a what?
Yes, sir.
Circle.
As the equation of a circle, great. And then they give us the equation of a what?
A line.
Right. Do you guys think I'll have to make a third equation here or no?
No, sir.
No.
Okay, one of the fellas, I want a little tell me why I don't need to make a third equation. Zachary or Caleb, tell me why I don't need to make a third equation.
So, because you have to use the substitution method and you don't already have, you can substitute since y is equal to value already.
Perfect. So I'll make a little note about that, right? We do not need to make a third equation as y is already the subject of the formula in equation 2. Do all of us understand why we're not going to make a third equation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes.
Let's proceed then. So my first step, I'm going to do what, Serena?
Wherever you see y, you would substitute in x minus 6.
Right. So step 1, plug. I'm writing it in simple terms, right? But the real word you want to use here is substitute. That's why we call it the substitution method. So you're going to plug equation 2 into equation 1. And what does this mean? This means you're going to substitute y with what? In place of y, what are you going to write instead?
X minus 6.
Right. So you're going to substitute y with x minus 6. Because isn't y also equal to x minus 6?
Yes, sir.
Right. So instead of writing y, I could also write x minus 6 because they mean the same thing. Yeah. So I'm going to write x squared plus. This is a mistake students make. The students make this mistake. How much of you guys are going to do that in the exam? Are y'all going to make that mistake in the exam?
Yes, sir.
Not
Yes, sir.
No, we're not going to do that. All you understand why that's wrong, right?
Yes, sir.
yes.
What are you missing over there? What is it missing?
Brackets.
You're missing brackets. Glad we understand that. Let's continue. Okay, this is another mistake students would make. Some students might write x squared minus 36. Are any of y'all going to do that here? If you are going to do it, be honest with me. No point in lying. It's fine. The important thing is that you wouldn't do it again. That's the important thing. But how much of you guys would have done this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we better than that, right? So x minus 6 really means x minus 6 squared really means x minus 6 by x minus 6. Serena, walk me through how to multiply that out.
First, you multiply x by x, which would be x squared, then you multiply x by minus 6, which is minus 6x. And then you multiply minus 6 by x, which is minus 6x, and then minus 6 by minus 6, which is positive 36.
Right,
And then
and we
you
could,
simplify, and it would be x squared minus 12x plus 36.
right, so I'm gonna write that in over here. Cool. Gonna write back the minus 4x. I want somebody other than Serena to expand that for me. Somebody expand this for me and tell me what I'd write.
6x
Mm-hmm.
minus 36.
Great. Good job. Put this to the side. One of the bits. Straight over here, I suppose. This is working. Put it over here to the side. Okay, the next thing. Serena, we need to look out for like terms. Are you seeing any other like terms for x squared?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're seeing one over here. All right.
Yes, sir.
Are we seeing any other like terms for the x?
Yes, sir. There's minus 4x
Yeah,
and positive 6x.
right. In terms of constants, are you seeing any like terms for constants?
Yes, sir. There's positive 36, negative 36, and plus 2.
All right, let's handle the x squared terms first. Altogether, we'd have 2x squareds. Okay. We have minus 12, minus 4, plus 6. So you could put minus 12, minus 4, plus 6 in the calculator and let me know what you gain.
10 sir.
You gain 10x, right?
Yes, sir.
What about the rest of you guys? When you put minus 12, minus 4,
What is it? 10 sir.
what about the rest of you guys? Yes, Serena, I hear you. Right? I want to just make sure everybody else getting that too. So Zachary, Sheena, and Caleb. I mean, if you all getting that as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Now, Caleb, I want you to simplify the constant terms for me. What is 36 minus 36 plus 8?
It's
Yeah, that's just 8. And the entire thing would be equal to what?
you you
Right. Now, what am I going to do next? What would I do next? Let me hear, guys. So you have a quadratic equal to 0. How are you going to solve that?
Do I solve on the quadratic?
How are you going to solve the quadratic?
Factorize.
Yeah, you could factorize. You could factorize. Now, is there anything I could do to make this factorization a little simpler?
Divide by 2 throughout.
Right. If you take a closer look at this, you notice that all of these numbers are divisible by 2. So if I divide throughout by 2, what is it going to simplify to, Sheena?
X squared minus 5x plus 4 equals 0.
Wait, this was being negative 10.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me just verify that. So minus 12 minus 4 is minus 16. Yeah. So that'll be minus 5x. And what is 8 divided by 2?
4. Positive 4.
All right. What is the next step?
Factorize.
We have to factorize. So I'm going to open up 2 big brackets. We're going to look at the first term. Tell me, Sheena, to get x squared and multiply what by what?
X by x.
All right. Then I'm going to look at what term next. What term am I going to look at next?
Your middle term.
The which term?
Your middle term.
Mm,
So okay, I'll look if I get your method because my brain program in the easy method now. But
all right. You know, this is the AC method, eh? This is the AC method. Like, think about it. Think about it for a minute, right? Think about it. In the AC method, you look at the A and you multiply by the C, right? Yeah? What's the A term there?
X. I will 1,
1. What's the C term?
4,
What's 1 by 4?
4.
Right? So you look at 4. What will you do next in the AC method?
You check to see which ones would match up. It will be minus 1 and minus 1.
Minus 1 and
Minus 1.
minus 1 and minus 4?
Yes.
Yeah, because negative 1 by negative 4 is 4. And, if you multiply them, you get back 4. Now, and the next thing you would do in the AC method, you would say minus 1x minus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0.
Yes.
And then,
Mhm.
right, what we're doing is a long version of this. So here I was saying, right, Sheena, once the coefficient of x squared is 1, you don't need to do all of that. Yep, I would only advise people to do the AC method when it's not 1.
Yes,
Because
sir.
I assure you, look how simple this is going to be, right? So for 4, we figured out that negative 1 and negative 4 would work, right? Because negative 1 by negative 4, the product is 4. And what's the sum? What is the sum?
Negative 5.
Right, so you know what we're gonna do? But watch. Negative 1, negative 4, that's it. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Now the reason why I tell you that you should use the AC method when it's not 1 is because if it's 1, right, is this value going to change? when you do the multiplication,
Yeah,
AC.
sir.
But if you have a non if you have a non if you have a value here that is not 1, it's gonna affect the product. Like take for instance, if you had 2, 2 by 4 is 8. It's not gonna be 4 anymore. So then I would advise doing the AC method. But if A is equal to 1 and is a simple trinomial, it's the easiest thing to do. All right. Zachary, Caleb, Serena, we good? Or nah?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes, sir.
what's the next step, guys?
You'll see x equals to 4 and x equal to, well, positive 1, and you substitute each back into the equation.
All right. Let me make sure the others understand that. Zachary, Serena, and Caleb, are you all confused?
No, sir.
So I would say x minus 1 is equal to what, Caleb?
4,
Nah.
0, sir.
Yeah. And I would say x minus 4 is equal to what?
0,
Right. So x would be equal to what?
1,
Right? And x would be equal to?
4.
Yep. Now we have two values for x. They wanted me to find the points of intersection. Points. A point is made up of a what and a what value? Remind me. What is a point made up of?
A X value and a Y value.
X and
So we have the x value. What am I still missing?
The Y values.
I'm still missing the y value. So I'm now going to say when x is equal to 1, y would be equal to what? What am I going to use to find for y? Do I have any equations that is telling us what y is in terms of x?
Yes, sir. Y is equal to X minus 6. So you just substitute that.
All right, we know that y is equal to x minus 6. Bravo. So when x is equal to 1, that's going to be y is equal to 1 minus 6, and y is going to be equal to what?
-5, sir.
Perfect. Caleb, when x is equal to 4, how are we going to find for y?
one minus 4.
Mm-mm.
Ah,
So Caleb, what is y equal to again? What is the equation for y?
oh, X. Well, 4 minus X, sir.
Yes, 4 minus 6. Where's 4 minus 6?
Minus 2.
Perfect. So can you tell me the points of intersections now?
1, comma, minus 5.
All right, give me a second. So the point of intersections would be 1 comma minus 5. Perfect. And what's the other point?
4, comma, minus 2.
And let's just step back for a moment and see if this makes any sense. What graphs did we have here? What were we working with? If you look at the question, what two things were we working with? Tell me, guys, what were we working with? Could somebody tell me?
A circle and a line,
Circle
sir.
and the line, sir.
Okay, a circle and a line. If you have a circle and you have a line, what is the most times they could intersect?
Twice.
2 times.
That makes sense. Did we get 2 times?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And if you have trust issues, I don't blame you. Maybe it X traumatize you. I mean, maybe maths traumatize you, but yeah. Hopefully you don't have no X hunting. Well, the only X you should
So,
have is in your maths book.
yes. So those points we find is the points where the line in the equation intersect the circle.
Yeah, you go see that for yourself now. You go see that for yourself.
Yes.
Watch it, right? So x squared plus y squared. So like I said, anytime you solve a system of linear equations, wait, what's it? anytime you solve a system of equations using the simultaneous, let me just put more words together. Anytime you solve a system of equations simultaneously, you are finding for the point of intersection between the two graphs. In this question, we had a circle and we had a line. So what you're finding for, like you said, is the point of intersection between the two things. So watch, x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y plus 8 equal to 0. And then we have a line, and the line is y is equal to x minus 6. Okay, are you seeing it for yourself? Let me know. Are you seeing that the line cut in the circle 2 times?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's now is the moment of truth. Whoa, are you seeing that? Did we get 4 comma minus 2?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And did we get 1 comma minus 5?
Yes.
Right. You don't know. Maybe I should take a picture of this and put it in the notes. Um,
Yes, sir.
one second. So the points of intersection was 1 comma minus 5, and it was 4 comma. So I'm going to give you all a question like this, a slightly harder one, and yeah, we'll see how things go. And you know, if you have trust issues, well, here you go. No more trust issues. Seen it for yourself. So, guys, anytime you solve a system of equations simultaneously, what are you really finding for? Anytime you solve simultaneously, what are you really finding for graphically? What are you finding for? Somebody tell me.
The points of intersection.
That is it. You're just finding the points of intersection between the two graphs. That's all. And if you wanted to verify if your answer is correct, what could you have done? Could somebody tell me that?
You could have sketched a graph.
No, I wouldn't. No, no. Yeah, but that's very inefficient. I would advise you to okay, so I have a question for you, right? At the point of intersection, that point lies on both graphs. You see on that, right? It line on the line and a line on the circle. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
If a point lies on a graph, what is it supposed to do to the equation of the graph? It's our S.
Satisfied, sir.
It's supposed to satisfy the equation. Now, if 1 comma minus 5 lies on both of the graphs, you know what? It is supposed to satisfy both equations. So what you could do is you could take x is 1, y is minus 5, plug it in, and see if it's satisfying both equations. So that's what you could do. Let me just check it fast. So x is 1 here, y is minus 5. So that's going to be 1 squared plus minus 5 squared minus 4 by 1 plus 6 by minus 5 plus 8. So that's going to be 1 minus 5 squared is plus 25. That'd be minus 4. That'd be minus 30 plus 8. 1 plus 25 is 26. Then we have minus 34 plus 8. Where's minus 34 plus 8? Somebody, where's
Minus
So,
sir.
minus 20.
minus 30.
minus 40
Yeah, minus 34 plus 8 is minus 26. Where's 26 minus 26?
is
So
0. So
Zero, sir.
did it satisfy the equation? Did we get equal to 0?
yes, sir.
Right, let's try it with the other one. The other one is y is equal to x minus 6. So y is minus 5, and that's supposed to be equal to x minus 6. We found x to be 1. Where's 1 minus 6?
5 minus 5.
Right, so it's satisfying that equation as well. Anytime you solve a system of equations and you want to check if it's correct, take a solution and plug it in into the equations. It's supposed to satisfy the equations. And you understand why? Because when you solve simultaneously, you're really trying to figure out the point of intersection. At the points of intersection, that point lying on both of the graphs. So, hope you understand that. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. I'm going to give you all a question now. I can be only 10 minutes.
Yes, I had a screenshot.
Okay, how about the rest of you guys?
I would say.
All right, bet. Okay, let me see how battle is, right? Time to test all your knowledge. Let you go. So after this class, that's it for coordinate geometry. So if you have any problems with coordinate geometry, I tell me no. Yeah, tell me no. Because after this class, we're moving on to series and sequences, APs and GPs. Yeah. So take 10 minutes. So out of time, I think you all could handle this question. 10 minutes. Bro, what good notes? Come now, man. I guess I gotta just count manually. Right. There's your time. Go. You guys, how things going? Is anybody getting through? Zachary, Serena, Sheena, Caleb. Anybody getting through?
Yes, sir.
Think so, sir.
Okay, cool. We should be able to get through with 1 and 2 very easily. Part 3 might be the only one giving you some trouble. Guys, any updates? Anybody can tell me anything? Any good news? Zachary, Serena.
On the last part.
Okay, cool.
Yes, and she might answer.
All right, Serena, let me check out what's going on there. All right, so Serena, I want you to check to see if your answer satisfies both equations.
Okay, sir.
Mhm. All right, so the time is up. Please send me whatever you have so far, regardless if you finish or not. Send me what you have so far. Shayna, Zachary, Caleb, send me what you have so far. Shayna, Caleb, Zachary, are they hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, send me whatever you have so far. Caleb, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, Caleb, can you send me a picture of whatever you have so far?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna do that.
And Shayna, what about you? All right, Zachary, things are getting a bit crazy. It looked like it was getting somewhere and then it just scratched everything off.
Yes, sir. I realized I had messed up one of these signs, so my whole thing was off.
All right, but I appreciate that you sent it to me, so I could see what happened to you when it was when you working.
Yes, sir.
Caleb, I waiting on Caleb and Serena. I mean, I'm Shayna.
Two were the first two answers correct, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Caleb, I want you to explain your working to me. Reason I say that is because it's looking like ChatGPT would it look like something ChatGPT would tell you. That's why I ask. Caleb, did you use ChatGPT to help you?
Yes, sir.
Because
Is it?
I never showed you guys how to do it like this. Now, if you did figure it out yourself, that's great. But
Awesome.
that looked like something ChatGPT might tell somebody. So, like, I want to know what you do there. Did you do it yourself? Did you use AI to help you? Caleb?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, did you do it yourself or did you ask ChatGPT to help you with it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I know I didn't teach that at all. Yeah. So, Caleb, that's a problem. So, not because it's a different method, but it come like a teaching you stuff and it just you're not applying it. That's the problem. So, Caleb, you're gonna do the question with me, right? Zachary, you could you could relax for a bit. All right.
Yes.
So, Caleb, read the question for me.
Express the equation in the form x plus f squared plus y squared equals r squared.
Make a mistake here.
Is y plus g squared.
Yeah. All right. So, Caleb, I want you to tell me what form is this? What form is this in?
Standard form.
No, this is in the general form. What does the general form look like? What do you remember the general form looking like?
Um, let's see. X squared plus Y squared plus 2. Let's see.
Right. And what form is this?
That is the standard form, sir.
Right. Cool. So, Caleb,
Yes, sir.
let's see. If you compare this to this, what you could find for? I want you to tell me that. If I compare this to this, what could I find for?
F and G.
Yeah. So, how could we find for F? You tell me.
E.
What would I say?
F is 4x, sir.
Wait, I want you to look at this and look at this. We trying to find for what right now?
F.
Right. What two
4,
things?
sir.
What two things should I equate to find for F?
2fx and 4x.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong, eh? But we could make it simpler by just saying 2F is equal to what? What do you think 2F is equal to?
4
Right, you're gonna say 2F is equal to 4. Mm-hmm. And you could say that 2G is equal to what?
minus 2.
Yeah. How would I find for F?
Because I did not mind front of the x. Oh, 4 divided by 2, sir.
Right? So 4 divided by 2 is 2. How would I
2,
find
yes. Minus 2 divided by 2, 1, so minus 1, sir.
right, -1? Cool. So in this form, what did you find for so far?
F and G,
What we need to find for next?
X and Y.
No, you don't find for X and Y. X and Y, you leave X and Y as is.
R squared, sir.
Yeah, you gotta find for R. Is there a formula you could use to find for R?
Yes.
What formula you could use to find for R?
Square root of F squared plus G squared minus C.
Perfect. What is F?
2, 2 squared
Mm-hmm.
plus minus 1 squared
Since it's a negative number, we'll put it in brackets, so -1 squared. Mm-hmm.
minus 20.
Minus -20. If you
Yes.
compare it, what exactly is C? What is C?
C is minus 20.
Right. So it says minus C. So minus whatever C is. So C is -20. So -20.
Yes,
What,
sir.
what's next?
Um, 2 squared is 4
Mm-hmm.
minus 1
Where's minus
plus
one?
minus 1
Where's -1 squared?
minus 1.
You're saying that -1 squared is -1?
No, positive 1 because of the 2 negatives.
Right. And where's negative by -20?
Plus 20.
So where's 4 plus 1 plus 20?
25.
What's the square root of 25?
5.
Cool. So here, what? If that is the case, could you tell me what the standard form would look like?
X plus 2 squared. Y plus minus 1 squared.
Right? Positive by negative is negative, so I could just write y minus 1.
Yes, and equals 5 squared.
Right. Yeah, that's it. If you want, you could write equal to 25, but that's fine. Zachary, Serena, Sheena, did you all get that?
Yes, sir.
I'm not hearing from Sheena at all. Sheena, you there? I don't know what's going on with Sheena, boy. But I know Sheena smart, so like,
Hi,
I-
so I wasn't here, but I come back and I hear. What was
yeah,
the question?
yeah, they do the question?
Yeah, you understand, sir?
Yeah, send it to me. So Caleb, you're not escaping because you pull that stunt with ChatGPT. I mean, ChatGPT is a good tool to use to learn, but like, if it's showing you something that you never do in your life, you just putting
Yes,
it, you just putting it there to send it to Sir, so Sir will be like, "Oh my God, you do the question, that's good." But when I ask you what happened, you're gonna be confused. You could explain to me what ChatGPT show you. You could explain to me all these steps there.
yes. Kind of.
All right. When I finish with the question, I'll go explain the ChatGPT method, which is valid as well. All right. Part 2. Give it a read from a killer.
State the coordinates of the center and the value of the radius of circles.
Right. So the center is given by what? What is the center given by?
F squared
Nah, the center.
minus F and G minus G.
Right. What we find F to be?
2
So where's minus F then?
minus 2,
All right. What is G?
comma 1.
Right. G was -1, so negative G will be 1. Great. What is the value of the radius?
5 squared.
Nah.
Well, 5 squared.
Right? And you say 5 units. So the radius is 5 units. That's that. So Zachary, Serena, Sheena, did everybody get these two correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Zachary, you are going to do part 3 with me. Because I know you get lost somewhere along the line.
Yes, sir. Now finished with.
All right, well, we will see where you do if it's correct, if it is correct.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's do this quickly. So what's the first equation? What's the equation of the circle? Tell me fast.
So it is x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 2y minus 20
X squared plus y squared. Plus
plus 4x minus 2y minus 20 is equal to 0.
call that equation one time. And the equation of the line, I think it was y is equal to 4 minus x or something where it was.
Yes, it has it.
Do we need to make our equation 3?
Nah, sir.
No, because they're already telling us what y is in terms of what? Y is what in terms of what? They're telling us what y is in terms of what variable.
Things x.
Yeah. And in case you hear me say that and you didn't understand what I mean, watch. Zachary, they're expressing what y is using what letter?
X.
Right.
Yeah, that makes
So we're saying y is being expressed in terms of x. Because think about it. We have two things, right? We have y and we have x. Y is the same thing as just 4 minus x. So you're writing what y is using x. So y is 4 minus x. So over here, I've written what y is in terms of x. If you're
Yes,
confused,
sir.
think of it like an orange and a grape, right? If I tell you an orange is 2 times the cost of a grape, I'm expressing the cost of an orange in terms of what?
A grape, sir.
That is all. It's the same thing you're doing here.
Yes, sir.
Anywhere I see y now, I'm going to put 4 minus x. So I'm going to put that in brackets here. 4 minus x squared plus 4x minus 2 open bracket 4 minus x minus 20 equals to 0. Okay, Zachary, let me continue, right? So I'm going to write back x squared. Expand this for me,
So I get positive x squared minus 8x plus 16.
right? So if you work it out, if you work out the full thing, that's going to be 4 by 4, which is 16. Then that's
Mhm.
going to be minus 4x, and then x my negative x by negative x is plus x squared. So you're going to end up with 16 minus 8x plus x squared. That's what you get, right?
But yes, I just rearrange it because in the
That,
quadratic form.
that's not a problem. That's not a problem. Then I'll put plus 4x. Negative 2 by 4 is negative 8. Negative 2 by negative x is plus 2x. Minus 20
Yes.
equal to 0. Yeah, we're on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's underline all the like terms. So I see an x squared here. See an x squared here. I see an x term here. I see an x term here. And I see an x term here. Everything else is numbers. So altogether, I have how much x squared terms?
2.
Right, so that's going to be 2x squared. Mm-hmm. How much x terms am I seeing?
3, sir.
Right, so it's minus 8 plus 4 plus 2.
Minus 2, sir.
Yeah, minus 2.
Minus 2x.
What is 16? Minus 8 minus 20.
Minus 12, sir.
All right, yeah, minus 12. Taking your word for it, right? Let me just verify that. I know I trust you, I trust you.
Yes, sir.
Is there any way I can make this quadratic simpler to work with?
Yes, sir. You can factor out the 2.
Right, I could, yeah, you could say that, or you could just divide throughout by 2. Because when you factor out the 2, then you gotta divide by 2. So best you just divide by 2 one time.
Yeah.
So 2x squared divided by 2 is just x squared. 2 could go into
Yeah.
minus 2x, that'll be minus 1x, which is just minus x. 2 into minus
Minus 6.
minus 6. Cool. To factorize this, I'm going to open up two brackets, put that equal to 0. To get x squared, that'll be x by x. Last term is negative 6. What two numbers you pick?
2 and 3.
But 2 and 3 will give you a positive 6, though. We want to get negative.
2 and minus 3, sir.
Right, that makes sense. When you multiply this, you're going to get minus 6. And when you add them, you're going to get negative 1, which is what we want in the middle, right? So
Yes, sir.
it's going to put plus 2 here. I'm going to put minus 3 here. So then I would say x plus 2 is equal to 0. So x would be equal to what?
Minus 2.
And x would be equal to what? Well, pretty full working. X would be equal to what here?
3, sir.
Yeah. When x is equal to negative 2, y would be equal to what?
4 minus negative 2. So you get 6.
Perfect, you get 6. Where's our point of intersection then?
Minus 2 comma 6.
Right? Then I would say y is equal to,
Oh, y is equal to 4 minus 3.
what else?
So it's equal to 1. So the point will be 3 comma 1.
Right. So Serena, you see a mistake, right? Because I see you send a message.
Yes, sir, I made my correction.
I bet.
Yes, I end up figuring it out.
Ah, nice, nice, nice. Good job. Shina never get that picture, you know. I don't know what's going on, Shina. Shina is sticking, is sticking.
I'll take a guide, but I did realize in the last part I leave out a number
Oh, okay.
and not add it. So I did stop at the factorization because it wasn't working out.
With
But
these
you could get it regardless.
with these types of questions, you gotta be real careful when you're working, because I mean you don't want to mess up. You don't want to make a mistake somewhere over here. They're like,
You know, I did leave out the -8.
oh, damn. Babe,
Yeah. So I did get x squared minus x minus 2.
that's a rookie mistake. Shina, you're better than this, you know. Shina.
Yes, yes.
I would consider you one of I feel like most of you guys are really capable students. And if you're not capable, it's probably because you're not putting in enough effort. But I think everybody here has the ability to excel. Caleb, it kind of disappoint me with the ChatGPT, right? I mean, if you understood what ChatGPT told you, that'd be great. But like, I wanted to see you apply what you learned so far. Kind of disappoint me with that ChatGPT thing. I mean, I just do that sometimes, but I try to make sure what ChatGPT give me is something I actually understand 100%. Now, you could understand it, and I could be making false accusations here. So now I want to see if you actually understand what ChatGPT tell you. So Caleb, try to explain to me what ChatGPT tell you. There we go. So Zachary, Serena, and Sheena, this is another way you could work the question. Like let me just say you don't want to find for F and G and find for R this way. I'm gonna show you all another way in which you could put it in the standard form, given the general form. Yeah, Caleb. So let me hear.
X plus f squared plus y plus g squared equal well r squared and um it's x squared plus 4x
Mhm.
plus in brackets that's plus y squared minus 2y minus 20 equals 0.
Right, what next?
X squared plus 4x equals open brackets x plus 2 squared close bracket. Well, x plus 2 close bracket squared
Yeah, listen. Mm-hmm.
minus 4.
Why put any minus 4 there? Let me hear. Why put any minus 4 there? If you truly understand what ChatGPT tell you, you'll be able to tell me why you put a negative 4 there.
I don't know.
You see, this is the point. Why you putting something in a book that you don't understand? I'll get vexed, right? A little seem of vex and thing, eh? I normally be in good spirits, but I mean, like, when I get vexed, I mean, I vex. It don't make sense writing something in a book that I don't understand. That kind of pointless. Now, let me explain why you put minus 4, right? So, Caleb, if you expand this, what you gonna get? Expand that from and tell me what you're gonna get.
X squared and 4.
Let me take we time, right? Let me take we time. Let me take we time. Zachary, Serena, Shina, let's see why we put the minus 4 here. By the way, this is actually completing a square. If you didn't know that we're actually completing a square there. I didn't know why we put any minus 4 there. Any of y'all could see why we put the minus 4 there? Zachary, Serena, Shina. I didn't know why we put the minus 4 here or not.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Nah, so
Zachary say nah, Serena say yes. Shina, you know why we put the minus 4 here?
Um, is it because it's the you're trying to get the X alone? Question mark.
Nah. Well, I think you're saying the correct thing. I think
Yeah, with the 2 squared with the whatever.
yeah, I think we're
Okay,
in,
good.
we're in the same path. So Caleb, if you expand this, that means x plus 2 by x plus 2, you agree?
Yes, sir.
What are you gonna end up with when you expand that out? Tell me.
X squared
Mm-hmm.
plus 2x plus 2x plus 4.
And if you simplify that, what are you gonna get?
X squared plus 4x plus 4.
Aha. Let's see why we put the negative for now or not. Or this will to go a little further. Okay, so I'll go explain. So Zachary and Caleb, x squared plus 4x. And whatever, put so I have an equal sign there, right? What does that equal sign mean? Zachary and Caleb, what does that equal sign mean? Let me get to the bottom of this. So Caleb, we're trying to figure out another way to write x squared plus 4x, right? That's what we're trying to do. Now you just told
Yes,
me that x plus 2 squared is what again? What is x plus 2 squared? It will work out to be x squared. Yeah, x squared.
x squared plus
4x.
4x plus 4. I think it was.
Right. And we want that to be equal to what? What was on the left hand side?
To x squared plus 4x
So what shouldn't be here then? What should not be over there? What shouldn't be over there?
plus 4
What you would do to get rid of plus 4? What would you do to get rid of plus 4?
minus
Minus
4.
what? Yeah, that's why they have the minus 4 over there. That's why. So now you know why. That's why.
Yes, sir.
And it's the exact same concept for this over here. And
Yes, sir.
you'll see what I mean, right? Zachary, Serena, Sheena, do you understand why there's a minus 4 over there? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, here's Serena. I trust I understand that. Zachary and Sheena. Zachary, let me know. If you don't understand, that's okay. Just tell me.
yes,
Zachary.
I had to go to that one more time.
All right, so Zachary, we are trying to write this in our alternative form. Ideally, we want it to be x plus some number in brackets squared. So like, Zachary, and you like be honest with me, you might be tempted to write x. This is looking correct, right? You might say x plus 2 squared. You might be thinking to do that. Because somehow in your head you might be thinking this could work out to be x squared plus 4. But that's actually not true. You'd have to expand that. But Zachary, look at this with your own eyes. X squared plus 4x kind of looks similar to this. And the reason for that is because Zachary, and just by looking at this, and you're tempted to say x squared plus 4, and you could see you'll get x squared and you'll get 4 somehow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope I'm not confusing you. Like, if you look at this, right, and it wasn't really that, like, it wasn't really thinking about it too hard. And you might be tempted to say x squared plus 4, low key, Because like x squared plus 2 squared, x squared plus 4. You might be tempted to say that, ain't?
Yes, sir.
Maybe. But you're better than that. If I were to expand this, what would I get? If I expand that, what am I going to get?
X plus 2, in bracket X plus 2.
Yeah, and what are you going to get?
Um,
Here, let me show you a little hack, right? If you have something in the form x plus b squared, the final answer is just going to be x squared plus 2b plus b squared. That's our hack you can remember. So Zachary, if we use our hack, that x plus 2 squared is actually just x squared plus what?
plus 4,
Wait, this is supposed to be plus 2bx. Yeah, x squared plus,
plus 4x,
mm-hmm,
plus 2 squared.
right, which is 4. Now I have a question, Zachary. Is this equal to this?
Nah, sir.
Nah, what? Because when you expanded this out, what did you get?
X squared plus 2 bx plus no, x squared plus 4x plus 4.
Is this the same thing as this?
Nah, sir.
What about it making them different?
The 4
The 4. So what could I do with this? What could I do with that to make
minus the 4, sir.
exactly? You see it now, right?
Yes, it makes sense now.
Yeah. ChatGPT is reliable. It just gives you methods that you mightn't fully understand. Trust that everybody understands that. Now let's apply the same concept for the y squared minus 2y. Y squared minus 2y. So Zachary, you might be tempted to write y what? Just take a guess. Take a guess. You might want to write what?
Y minus 2 squared, sir.
Okay, if you say y minus 2 squared, that wouldn't be correct, right? Let me show you why. When you
Yes, that wouldn't be correct.
when you expand that out, I want you to use this little trick to tell me what you're going to end up with.
So you get y squared minus 2
Mm-hmm. Minus 2 by.
2y.
Right. So that will work out to be what? Minus what?
Um, yeah, I rather do it on the pen and paper, you know. So
Okay, no, a way to strengthen your cognitive abilities. Look at this. Look at this, right? So we're comparing this and this. So like, you know, x and y is the same thing. So we get y squared. Then you're going to end up with 2 by b. What is b over here? Tell me, Zachary, what's b over here?
2
B is not 2.
minus 2
Yeah, b is negative 2. And you multiplying b by?
x.
No. We
Well,
multiply.
y.
No.
Oh,
The y is correct, but is really what is it? What is it? Is 2 what?
2 bx.
2b is 2b. What is b? What's b? Remind me again, what's b?
B is minus 2
Right, and b is being multiplied by
x
mm, okay,
or 2.
2, because it's 2b.
Right.
So
Yes, sir.
where's 2 by negative 2?
Negative 4, sir.
Yeah. So that'll give you negative 4 what? Negative 4 what?
X.
No, we not dealing with x here, we don't know y. So that'll be negative 4.
B?
No, that'll be negative 4y.
Yes.
Because instead of x, we dealing with y. We don't know
Ah,
x.
yes, yes.
Yeah. And negative 2 squared is what?
4, so.
Now I'm asked that question, right? Yeah, we get any y squared. We get any minus 2y?
Now,
Nah. So minus 2 wasn't the correct number to pick. Pick another number.
um,
So
minus 4, so.
if you put negative 2 here, the middle term is going to be negative 4. So you pick a number here, pick a number there that when you multiply it by 2, you'll get negative 2. Understand what I'm saying, Zachary? Whatever number you put over here, it's going to be multiplied by 2 in the middle. So if I put negative 2 here, it's going to be negative 4 in the middle. But I want to get negative 2. So what
You
number?
put minus 1.
Yes, minus 1 is the correct answer.
Yes.
If you expand that out, you are going to get y squared, tell me y squared,
Minus 2i.
mm-hmm.
Minus 2.
No, remember is b squared. What's b? What's b?
So it's 2 squared. No, 2
No,
plus 2.
nah. What's b over here?
Minus 1, so
What's minus 1 squared?
1.
Yeah, so plus 1. Yeah, come if you understand now, no.
Yes, I understand.
Now, is this the same thing as this?
Yes, sir.
Look at it
But
carefully. Look at it very carefully. Are they the exact same thing?
it's not the exact same thing, but whatever I had to do is just minus the 1.
Exactly. So I'll put minus 1 here.
Yes, sir.
So y squared minus 2y is just y minus 1 squared minus 1. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Right.
So I
And
gotta explain my things on paper.
I understand. I was just showing you a little trick here. X squared plus 2bx plus b squared. I just do that in my head now. I don't expand it. Right.
Yes, sir.
I think you all could. I want you all to be able to do it in your head without expanding it. Save time. Right. So Serena and Shayna and Caleb, let's see what happened in here, right? Y squared minus 2y is just y minus 1 squared, but I had to take away a 1 because I remain with an excess 1. All you understand now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So like now you know what I could do? This is what I could do, right? Watch. So look carefully at what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna color code this thing. So this is x squared plus 4x. X squared plus 4x, I put that in green. Cool. I'm going to put y squared minus 2y in red. Y squared minus 2y in red. So Serena, let's replace the green part, right? So what the green part is going to be replaced by what? Thomas Serena, the green part is going to be replaced by what?
X plus 2 squared
Mm-hmm. X plus 2 squared.
minus 4.
Perfect. All right. Caleb, what is the red part going to be replaced with?
Y minus 1 squared minus 1
Okay, and what is still remaining from the original thing?
minus 20 equals 0.
Cool. Are we seeing any like terms, for instance, in numbers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where's -4, -1, -20?
25.
-25. So you're going to end up with x plus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared. And we're going to end up with -25. And we're going to take that, move it across. So my final answer is just x plus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared. And if I move across -25, that's going to turn to 25, which is really just 5 squared. Are you understand how I do
Yeah.
that?
Yes, sir.
This method is a bit more advanced, but if you're good with completing the square, it's a mighty fine method to use. It gets your brain juices flowing. Yeah. So Caleb, don't ever do that again, right? If you don't understand something, don't put it in your book. Make no sense. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. If you're interested in learning a new method, you could always tell me, but don't put something in the book that you don't understand. I hear that. We will fall off for that. All right. Zachary, Serena, and Sheena. Are you understand this method, right?
Yes, sir. But I still prefer the next method.
Same. But
Yes, I prefer the next one.
yeah, the next one is definitely easier for sure. For sure. Why are you doing all of this? Like you see, that's the thing. ChatGPT doesn't always give you the easiest thing. But this is a perfectly valid method. And if you're practicing completing a square, this is a really good method to use. Because you realize we're doing that, right? Like completing the square. I don't know if I'll ever watch my video that I did. Well, it was in class where I showed you all the geometric representation. Completing the square means I come like you're making a square, right? So this is not a perfect square, but this is, think about it, Shina. And this would be a perfect square because I mean is x plus 2 squared, right? Like if I were to draw that on a diagram, that would just be a side x plus 2, and this side will be x plus 2 as well. But this is not a perfect square, so you'd have to take away 4. So that's what it means to complete the square. Same thing over here, completing the square. You're probably confused by what I'm saying, but this is completing the square. So yeah, guys, that's it for class today. If Caleb has still never got 2012, 2013, and 2014 from you, so I'm expecting to see that. I didn't see the homework from Sheena or Zachary, so I'm waiting for you all to send me these questions. In the next class, we're going to move on to series and sequences. So yeah, guys, I hope all you have a blessed night. Take care. Later.
You too.